She's not a politician. If it's okay for everyone, we're going to start. Thank you so much for being here. Actually, it's very nice to have such a big audience. So let's see what we can do. As you know, we got the chief fun officers between us. We are always looking out to have some fun activities with you, but not only. The idea was also to give you some new perspectives, some new views on some new marketing techniques, and that's what we're going to try today. We started with something not so easy, and that's probably something that should surprise you. It's about gaming. It doesn't sound like insurance will do everything so much about gaming. And again, it's not just about that. So let's start with it. I hope you enjoy.
Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to lose. Expect it's caught up. He's got it here and then back and he's made it hard. Second time production, one driver.
So, what you just saw is just one simple video of promotion about esports. The numbers you saw on this video are only focusing on the part of esports, which means sports about games. People playing on games and other people watching them. So, for 3 weeks actually, I saw a very good movie. I don't know if you saw it. Perhaps some of you saw it actually. It's called First Man. Did anyone saw this movie?
First Man? Sorry.
The first man that seems to be. Exactly.
Anybody see The First Man?
So, First Man is actually
How
about
would you end
the
up
first man
there?
in the moon. It's about those people,
Yeah,
the experience they got. And one of the things that is absolutely brilliant in this movie, I can only, if you have the opportunity to watch this movie, it's a very nice perspective on it, giving you the perspective from inside. And at the beginning of the movie, you have an interview with Neil Armstrong. And they are asking him why they think it's important to go on the moon. Because of course at this time everyone was thinking, my God, it's a lot of money. For what do we do that? And the answer of Neil Armstrong is just saying, you know, when I go up and I see the atmosphere, I can see how thin it is. And he's just saying, you know, I think it's all about perspective. Once you're up there, all your perspective are changing. And these people did even bigger than that. In one day, the day they put their foot there, they helped the humanity entirely to change perspective about space. And of course, don't worry, we're not going on the moon. I already checked with Marco, we don't have the budget for that. So perhaps next year, he's thinking about it, so who knows. So the idea today is not that, and the idea is not to change the perspective of the world about gaming, but today the idea was simply to say, let's try today to have anyone here to change perspective about gaming. What it is, what can we do about it, where does it go, where does it come from. But it's not the only one, not the only thing. You will see very quickly that gaming is also bound to a lot of things like millennials, communities, new way of communication. All these things are very well bound based on gaming. And that's why we choose this example. So at the end of this presentation, I'm not hoping you're going to all go buy a PlayStation or something like that, but I would love if I could have changed some of your perspective about that, and perhaps about the marketing done about that. And who knows, perhaps one day we'll do a game together. But it's not the case, I don't think so. So let's start the presentation with a short agenda. I will give you a very short introduction about the gaming industry to remember you all probably some souvenirs, pretty nice souvenirs. Then we're going to go about the gaming industry in numbers, because this is the very most important part of it. It's that the numbers about the industry, how the industry is going, but especially the demographics of the industry, which is very interesting. And of course the future of the industry, where is it going? After that we're going to have a small look on the influencers. You will see that's something that is clearly down to it. and that's clearly bound to marketing, and that's even ignored by the most media, even if one of these, some of these influencers are stronger than New York Times or any kind of media. They have a big audience, much clearer. And that's the question, what do we do with those people? Because they are preparing the future. The next point will be about the channel. There I will focus especially on Twitch because it's the channel that most of the gamers use to stream their games, and that's the one who have the most success right now. But of course you will see that we're going to also talk about YouTube. It will also come in the history of the industry. Last but not least, I will try to give you 2 short examples about what other companies did already in the gaming industry. You will see it's not about just creating a game, it's about communication and binding yourself to your community. And it will be done. Don't worry, this presentation won't last 1 hour. That was a little bit tip for you, so you already have the first gift. You can go out sooner, so don't worry, that's okay. Enjoy the pizza and let's start. So about the history of gaming, as you can see, everything started actually in '72. Perhaps you heard about that, a game called Pong. I think most of you probably already saw this game. So it started in '72 in a small cafe where they put this game in a small board, and after 1 week, catastrophe, it's not working anymore. They needed 3 weeks to understand what was not working. Actually, it was not the game. There was too many coins in the game, so the game would stop working. So it gives you a first point that as they started it, they were clearly public for that, and people enjoying it. After that, we got in '75, it was the first time that we could put this game not only in a cafe, but in a house. It was the first Amiga that came in. This step is very important because, again, as soon as you get into the house of the people, you start the democratization of the technology. Going on that, '82, Tron, fantastic movie, influenced my entire youth, I must say. There, why do I speak about that? Because of course, it's people going into a game in this movie, but then you can see that suddenly it was a cultural element. So again, you are evolving in how the things are interpreted and seen in the culture of people. First, of course, very oriented in the US and a little bit in Europe, but again, the democratization was starting. The NES, I had a NES, I don't know if you had one, I just bought a mini NES because I want to play it with my kids when I will have kids. Yes, I know it's a stupid excuse, but I work with my wife. In '89, the Game Boy was also a revolution because suddenly gaming became mobile and touched again much more people. '90, do you know that? It's the Solitaire. It's the first game on PC, and it was a breakthrough. Why? Again, more people, and not just the people you may think about. My uncle played this game, my dad played this game. They loved this game. And it was a free game, and it was the first time that suddenly, again, gaming is entering every person, every household or many, everyone knows about it. And suddenly it's come true. After that, we got PlayStation 1, huge success, PlayStation 2. Then in 2004, the rise of Facebook, Internet 2.0, exchange of information, people being able to put message on the internet without knowing programming. I don't know if you know the beginning of the internet, but before Facebook, have you ever thought about I will one day put something on the internet on my own? Mostly you have to go to agency, to a programmer that will do that for you. And again, suddenly, we have to see a tendency that all those things start to be very easy. And not for just the technical person, it's for everyone. For everyone. Then we got the next revolution, the introduction of YouTube and the PlayStation 3. Why YouTube? Because suddenly video content was generated. Question for you. What is the biggest search engine today?
The biggest what?
Search engine.
Search engine.
Google.
Search
Google?
engine. No, it's YouTube.
Which is owned by Google.
Which is owned by Google, but
all right,
you
all
will
right.
see where I want to
don't
go.
know that,
It's
so.
YouTube.
Yeah.
The most research done today is on YouTube. It shows you also something new about how you interact with information, with data, and even with so many things. Just think about it. As I was a student, I also have a master thesis to write. I have you, and I had a long discussion with that. I had to go to the bibliothèque every time to watch for, to find information, to just find content for my presentation, for my thesis. How much were you in the bibliothèque the last 2 months?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, and
Searching.
I go now as a tourist to see beautiful libraries and cities that I've
exactly, it's more historically.
just to take pictures.
But again, you see, there is a huge evolution that happened in something like 20 years. And again, I always saying that, of course, you can find tons of stupid things on internet. But again, Google it. If you Google crap on Google, you will find crap. If you Google, give me a study from Stanford about marketing, you will find it too. Because those people are making that all open for all of us, because they want us to talk about them. They want to be the source of information. So after that, we got, of course, the mobile, 2007. We got the PlayStation 4, 2014. For you to know, again, democratization, I think there is something like 100 millions of PlayStation 4 in the world, sold in the world. They announced that this year, I think. They are going to the next generation, but again, it means it's not just a person like me gaming, it's in the house of the family.
Isn't that the company that did where you could create your own little, that thing you hold, what's it called, the console? The what?
The
No,
Wii.
The Wii.
They did
The Wii
own
controller.
design. It was not Sony, it was the other one.
That's
Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo, that's brilliant.
But I think that's a great example, because for me, Nintendo and Sony, you will see after that, are the two companies that really make a lot to democratize everything, to make it available for
So
everyone.
who does the Xbox?
The Xbox is
It's
Microsoft.
It was Microsoft that
Yeah,
did
this
it.
was Microsoft.
It was Microsoft that did that unique
Yeah.
design. It was
Yeah.
for the Xbox,
Where everybody
not
got
for
to create
Nintendo.
their own.
Exactly, yeah.
Their own
Yeah,
color.
they were the
Yes,
first to
yes.
start
Yeah.
with the Kinect, yes.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
true. So going forward, we see in 2016, that's also what's very important, we talked about virtual reality. You saw that, it's pretty complex, you go in a room, it costs a lot of money, but PlayStation introduced for the first time virtuality in your own place. Which means that the success of virtual reality today is strongly bound to that, because so many people know what it is. And again, virtuality also brings something that, again, it's not just about gaming, it's about experience, it's about living something, being in the game, or in the experience itself. And there, we are in the future. So what's going to happen? Well, actually, we're going to first talk about some numbers and the demographics. So just for you to know, the industry in 2018 make 137 billion. It's huge, and they are growing. They know they are growing. This will grow till on the next year without a problem. As you see, it's pretty divided. But what is very new is you see that the mobile. Actually, the mobile is the one that is making the most money. It's all about microtransaction. But it's surprising to see, because gaming now is just not what you think on PC or on console. A lot of focus is on mobile. So again, everyone is concerned, because every one of you probably already played a game, even perhaps without knowing it. If you see, again, perhaps, of course, mostly about the smartphone, people also play on tablets, and the console are only 34 billion of this number. So again, I start with it, I start to democratize it, but as you see, it was the point, the point of start, and now it just explodes everywhere. So, if we are looking at, oh, sorry about that. If you are looking at that, it will evolve. And as you can see, strong evolution on the mobile industry. It's the one that will grow the most. Till 2021, 26% growth. Of course, until 2021, they're expecting 11% of growth. So it's not bad. That's pretty good numbers, actually. So again, that's an industry that is moving strictly forward. That's the number one entertainment industry. It's not cinemas. They even, which is incredible, they beat porn, which is unbelievable. Porn was never beaten any time. Well, they were. It's the first time. Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I hope this example don't disturb you, but it
There's
was the
probably
most
a porn
consumed
game
to
we
that.
don't know about.
Of course, you're a fantastic game. Yeah.
It's called cannibalization.
Exactly. So if we're looking at what we can take out of this stuff, again, it started 72, but today it's 150 million. It started with one arcade game, and now it's a 150 billion industry. The main revenue of the future will be generated by mobile, which means it touches every one of us. And of course, exactly as you said, Nintendo and Sony PlayStation were, for me, about the game industry, the two main actors to help the democratization. Of course, you also have to integrate internet and everything, but if you're looking at the game industry itself, these two are the ones who help that, and probably are still the ones who are taking us in the future, at least for some things, not for everything. So let's talk about the people now, because again, it's a nice industry, we got the feeling, okay, it's important, but why should it be important for me? Well, again, first of all, as you can see, the number one consumption is now Asia Pacific, which was not the case 10 years ago. They were not even present in this market. Well, today they overtook the market. The second would be the US, of course, and third position would be Europe, with 21% of all money generated. But, you know, that's just the start. Who are those people? Again, I told you I want you to change your perception about gaming.
Do you,
So I have now...
is that what they earn, or is it what is being spent in the market?
That's the money spent in markets. That's
Spent in the market. Okay.
that's the general-
From consumer.
That's what I mean. From
Yeah,
consumer.
From the consumer, yeah.
Okay.
So again, I will just start with three simple questions. Two of these questions will be answered in the next slide, and the last one I will let that for you to interpret. So first question will be, how old is the average gamer? Don't answer, I told it to you.
Yes.
But how old is the average gamer? The second question would be, are women over 30 buying more games or kids under 18? And last but not least question, we see it's a strange case. If today ET is coming on Earth, is meeting with us and he wants to meet the most ET, you know,
Okay, does everybody knows who
extraterrestrial.
E.T. is?
They invade us.
Of course.
Yes.
People
What is the rest of
live
it?
and not know who.
The
Some
younger
people are not
born
ones
in
here, they don't know what ET is.
They were not born, yeah.
E.T., fantastic movie. You have to, who doesn't know that?
Really?
Of course I know E.T.
It's a legend.
Oh,
If you already didn't know Alien, you don't know ET. Oh my God! Again, so let's say you got people. We are invaded today by people coming up from Mars. The first thing they would like to know is we want to meet the most important person on this planet. So let's check that it must be the most influential, the most known on this planet. And then that's my question for you: who is this person? It's not Donald Trump.
No.
I was expecting that. It's not Donald Trump.
The
But it is a
YouTuber.
person I'm not expecting.
Because he uses Twitter so much, that's why I actually
Yeah,
had
like
to.
60 million followers.
Why I'm saying that is
Jesus
just to tell
Christ.
you, you may have an idea about gamers that is absolutely wrong. Let's answer the first question. How old is the average gamer?
25?
It's 45.
25.
44 actually.
44.
34, 34.
34.
Oh, my gosh, my God. It's 34.
34
Yeah.
years old.
34. So, forget this idea that it's kids, it's not. It's absolutely not. But even let's go deeper in this study. So you have the average gamers by age here, and something that will come out is the average female video gamers is 36. And the average is 32, so. But even more important, adult women represent a greater portion of the video game playing population, with 33%, than boys under 18.
Wow.
My mother, I don't play games, and my mother does.
Yeah,
And
I'm
she's
not
75, she loves them.
Yeah, she's done.
I sit and watch her on her iPad and I crack up. I
No,
don't know
I
what
play.
she's doing.
I play.
I'm not surprised, you're a modern person.
I play. You've got a
No, but
PlayStation.
do you see where I want to come? To go. The idea is certainly not to take it as, oh, it's a kid stuff. It is not. And the second point I wanted to say is related to millennials. Clearly, I heard a lot about brand strategy and stuff like that, and clearly me, I was always like, I think one of the main challenges we have for the future is to prepare the next generation about insurance and to check what is the generation are doing about that, which means that we have to understand millennials. Millennials are the direct future of this company. 50% of all workforce on this planet are millennials. In 5 years, it's going to be 75%. These people are the future. They are already running it. They are all over here. I can see some, it's terrible, but that's true. They are there. They are coming very strong to you. And, yeah. No, please.
Sebastian, what is actually a game for you? Is chess also part of this? chess,
Chess,
or is it always these new games that
Oh
you
no, I'm
see?
talking about digital gaming, so
game.
to speak.
So-
Gaming industry. So
No,
really
but I mean chess online, is that
Yeah.
also part
That's
of it?
also inside,
That's
of
also
course.
part of it, okay.
That's
No,
also-
that's a sport.
Or you can take
Actually, officially, yes.
Officially, it's a
Yes,
sport.
Actually, officially, yes.
And you know, that's a very important point, because again, we are talking about millennials. We are saying these people are shaping the future. They are probably our clients, our future clients. They will be our main clients. They are just coming now. So it's extremely important for us to understand who are these people and what are they doing. Of course, I don't want to summarize you millennials about video games. It's much more complex than that. There are 200,000 things they may do. That's just a single example, and that's an example to show you we should have an interest about that. Because it's the way they are communicating today, and it's the way they will communicate tomorrow. And we should better be inside if you want to mark this generation.
Well, and if we look at the numbers, they're all, I mean, our customers, if it's the average is a 36-year-old woman, that's already our customer.
Exactly. That's what I said, the future is
Yeah,
already today.
It's already here.
So,
Sorry that I have to ask again.
no, please.
Is because a game, is it just also platforms where people actually meet to play a game like poker or chess, or is a video game always a game that where I have to program something and go through something?
No, that's also the point. You know, now almost every video game will be what they say multiplayer, which means you will connect with other player automatically
And
on the game itself. The same on mobile phone. You probably saw that you can connect now with anyone in the game, or you can play against somebody in the game, which is also something unbelievable, because 10 years ago you would not have done that. Actually, you would have done that, but it was nerds with a lot of force. It was very specific actually. But again, you know, I love this example because I just talked about it with you, I think, just before. Have you ever seen the first Mac? How it happens? There is a in the book of Steve Jobs, but it's also in the movie. You see one time a scene where he's explaining it's a fight between him and Oz. Oz, who is the guy who really did the machine. And the big question is about, should we put USB or not? Today the question would be, of course, dude, of course. But no, not at this time, because at this time USB sticks and USB ports were only known from hackers. What Steve Jobs wanted was not hackers, he wanted you.
Yeah.
So he wanted something, he didn't have to overperform the technology, he understood what is innovative design. Innovative design is what is taken by the people. It doesn't mean it's the best design, it's the design that goes with the people. So sometimes you even have to reduce the quality of the technology itself just for the people to accept the technology. And I think it's a great example. Going through the lessons learned for that. Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
No, it's just a question from a totally different industry that I have seen. Like, the highest rates of addiction with online gaming are with live simulation.
Yes.
Like Sims.
Yeah, exactly.
Just imagine what a logo in there that you would every day go and buy something with that logo would do.
Ah,
A mean way of thinking, but think about
But
it.
that's exactly that. That's exactly that. You just touch up, you want to present it? Okay. So, again, some lessons learned. 30% of the power gamers are women. I didn't say that, but it's 40% now, as you can see. And again, I'm married today, and I know how important the decisions of my wife are, even on video games. I can tell you, it's really funny, but it's true. I already know she won't let me play anything with my kids, and I will have time to play. It's unbelievable, but that's true. It's life. So I will accept it, and I will buy a second TV and play in the garage. So, what is the future of the industry? So again, the first future is clearly the mobile gaming, clearly. But it's also going a little bit deeper. The next one will be cloud gaming. Netflix for games. So there you have three main player, it's Microsoft. It's Google. They just announced it here. I don't know if you saw the stuff. It's Amazon. The three of them are fighting like beasts to be the #1. And they are not the only one on the market. You have Epic, who does Fortnite, who is also on the market, trying to make his own channel. They are fighting on exclusivity, they are fighting on everything. It's probably also the most booming stuff that is happening. And it's very interesting. Last but not least, because we were right inside, virtual reality. So now, What about, okay, again, I'm talking about an industry now. Let's go about what people are doing, what companies are doing in this industry. What can we do in a marketing way? How can you use this industry to make yourself known? Well, actually, I'm very thankful to Octagon because they prepared this very nice slide. There is 6 ways of making advertisement in the gaming industry. First way is developer and publishing, which means you do a game of your own. The second one is the gaming platform. You go talk to Sony, to Microsoft, to give some advantage on their platform. The mobile gaming, simpler, you don't make a huge game, you make a mobile game. Why? Because they are much cheaper, much easier to do, to program. But there is also the opportunity to make advertisement on this game. And you will see it's a huge, so in 2017, the advertisement you may see on your mobile sometime by playing, it's 107 billion in 2017. So it's a massive, massive way of going advertise people in their mobile. Events, there we are talking about Gamescom, but we are especially talking about esports, clearly about esports. The talent, there we are talking about esports, but specifically about the athletes on esports. And last but not least, the streaming media. We have to talk about streaming media because again, right now, the number one media about this is certainly not one of the traditional media. That's a guy who is 28 years old. But let's go deeper about those. So major point like publish a game. You could see a very old game with 7-Up, or you could see even a game based on Michael Jackson. I'm not sure it's the best example today, but still it was one of the most biggest events when it came out. So it's really, you can put your brand inside the game, and again, the idea is to touch a generation. This one actually I think is too complicated, but again, it will totally change in something like 1 year. Because this year will come out on Sony PlayStation a software that will allow you to create a game on your own, giving you music, giving you animation, giving you... The idea is that me or you, anyone who has no idea about programming or designing, can do a game. So I can promise you, your kids will generate games. That's the next big thing they will do. They will generate their own games.
Did you know that Zurich used to have a simulation game for insurance?
I didn't
This
know
is back in 1996, 97, and it was called Zappos. Yeah.
Ah, Zappos.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find a copy.
that. Yeah.
I never played it myself, but I know the guy who ran the program.
Is it risk engineering?
No, it was corporate development at the time, trying to educate the, let's say, the average Zurich employee, so not the specialist at one thing, but to educate everyone about what all the functions that are involved in insurance go through during the insurance process from cradle to grave, let's say. Because you have the claims specialist who will understand claims, but he will not understand necessarily risk engineering, or the underwriter who will not necessarily understand then sales process and so on. So it was a game about, it was for training purposes.
Was it like
Yeah.
a simulation or was it a
It was
real
a simulation game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a
They
simulation
still
game.
have that course now?
They have now but it's not programmed on a game. It's a course.
Yeah.
And it goes through a simulation game, like a board game. So it's an aided game, but it's you have to be there with the different players, and you all play together. It's like a board game. But that one was all on computer, so you could play it on your own. Yeah.
You have some games in my learning actually, which are they're like not the most fancy ones, but it's like a retro style space game there where you can learn about insurance or something, or
Yeah.
cybersecurity.
Yeah.
I think.
And they also did
Yeah.
that space game.
No, but what's amazing is that it already in 1996, right? So this is like
That's
over
also
20
something
years
you
ago.
probably heard
Yeah.
this term, gamification.
Yeah.
Gamification is everywhere. The idea is that people learn much quickly via gaming than via anything else. They will learn it much quickly, and sometimes they will not even check that they are learning. So that's something that is going out in companies in many ways. When LinkedIn asks you to complete your profile, it's already gamification. It's based on principle of gaming. So that's certainly something very complex. Again, This one is pretty hard to do, but it will be easier in the future. Let's go look at the next. The next one I really like. That's the gaming platform. How could you be integrated in a game? So every one of you knows Fortnite. Did you heard about this small movie called Avengers Endgame?
Yes.
There is a special mode there to play it, which means you can be superheroes and stuff. They have a very nice relationship with Disney, and just for you to know, after 2 days they already beat Titanic, and they are the same level that Avatar was after 14 days. And this played a role inside. The movie is nice, but this played inside. 2 days to make the full stuff of Titanic. Again, it's going quicker, stronger. It's the way of communication. It's how people communicate. Another one would be FIFA, who will integrate sponsorship on the side. So again, you don't have to program a game to be part of the game. And of course, as you can see, there is 2,000 type of games. You don't have to think only shooters are important. There is so many different kind of games. It's unbelievable. So why I put you football just to show it can be anything. Next one are the advertisement on mobile. You already saw that 2,000 times. It can be small, it can be big. Again, I think what's very important there is for every one of these games, it's like Facebook. You know who are playing it. So when you're defining your politics about advertisement on mobile or gaming on mobile, mostly you exactly know if I take this game or this stuff, I will talk to 35 years old man or 36 years old woman, or so again, it's very interesting. And it's cheap. Compared to anything else, it's very cheap. And it's not so, they also say, it's not so interruptive of the experience. It doesn't, people don't bother about it. Next one, main entry, would be the events. Of course, you can sponsor events. You have esports events everywhere. The next one would be the World Cup of Fortnite, which the winner, I think, will win $10 million. They are playing it for the last 10 minutes. I tried to qualify, it was impossible. No, I was 20 points away, but I mean, they are too good. I mean, it's impossible. You know, you're just there and they already construct the stuff and you're still looking for the button to construct. Well, yeah. I was hiding all the time and shooting people in the back. It was, I think it's better I didn't qualify for that. But again, it's a 10 weeks long qualification process where every weekend you get 8 people winning. The last of the 8 is making $10,000. The first one is making $1 million. Every weekend, worldwide. And you don't have to make something very special to achieve that. You just have to have the game on your console and you can play. So if your kid's coming out and saying, I qualify for that, don't say, okay, we're going to train you. You have no chance. Because honestly, yes, that's something that went out. You see university training people. You see now football teams training people. In Switzerland, for example, Basel has its own esport teams. All the biggest ones.
Lausanne aussi.
Lausanne, yes. Lausanne won the last World Cup.
I'll have them finance my pension.
But they are everywhere. And those events are there, and
focus.
they are viewed by so many people. I love the article that Anna Maria gave to me. It's more shown than the Super Bowl comes. The Super Bowl, which is the event we knew about, again, no chance. There is more people looking at that and even re-looking at that after that the Super Bowl will ever have. It's done. They lost the first place. So, the athletes, because there is athletes on that. Again, don't go on your typical ideas of who are the athletes. That's the first girl team. She's from Russia. May I remember you that women have the first time the right to vote in Russia. It seems they are also innovative about that because they accept that, they're pushing that. You see one of the other team playing. As you can see, it's very professional. They all train all the day. They have sponsored already. Adidas is sponsored also for one of them. So they are already a brand preview for so many people. And again, all of these people also talk on the internet, which means they have their own audience. It's not just the event where they took part. From my point of view, they even have more audience than, for example, the golfer we have today in our company. So, going through that, there is again another category, the streamer, media. Here you see one of the best streamers in France. It's called Squeezie. They all have some strange name. And here you see, the idea was to show you it's very different. Here you see people eating some stuff and telling people what they think about it.
And the
It's
kids
gonna-
love it. I can
And people
tell you
love
that.
it
They-
because,
kids
of course,
love it.
you can see they have special clothes, they have special way of doing things. People love it. I will not go on I will go on the influencer a little bit later because it's a huge part of the thematic. But as you can see, that's also a way of communicating. So, lessons learned. The three main departments in the future in gaming will be mobile gaming, cloud gaming, and virtual reality. And the six main processes in advertisement in gaming are developing and publishing, gaming platforms, mobile gaming, events, talents, streaming media. I will try to go quicker. How about the streamer? Because they are very important. I had to focus about gaming, and I see three types of streamers. The entertainer, the specialist, and the athletes. The most important are these two, because they are the ones streaming about people. I choose very different kind of people. As you can see, that's the most known and the most successful. This guy is, I think, 68 years old. He has a huge success. He has 200,000 followers. He already made a publicity for a car in the USA. The idea is also, and it gives you another perspective again about gaming. He's a veteran, and he doesn't feel his hand and his back. And gaming helped him to, that's how he started. It helped him to re-coordinate his hand. Now he's a superstar in a game called Apex. He is the grandpa, everyone wants to play with him and to talk with him. So again, don't have this illusion that it's only for young. That's not true. It's for anyone. It's for you, it's for us. The idea is tell something to the people, contact with the people on specific topics.
What is Dr.
Dr. Disrespect is for me, again I call him, he's a specialist and he's an entertainer, which means he was a great gamer, who makes competition, and now he got more on the side of entertainment, and he's very good at the playing, so let's say he's joking on the people. And he's always saying I'm the best and that, but it's just a show. So that's something that I really want to say about all these people. If you think they have no idea or they are lucky, well, you're really wrong. All these people are huge professionals and knows about marketing, knows about tactics, knows about numbers. I can tell you they look at their numbers every day. Every number they can have on their audience, they will look at it. And I will show you what is coming out. So that's the three best entertainer. For me, I took her because I needed a woman, I must say. But she started to have a lot of success. As you can see, she has 1.1 million followers on Twitch. But we have to talk about this sir, PWD. I don't know if you know about him. You don't know about him. 94 million followers on YouTube. This man is bigger than any media. Then you see, and I can already tell you that this guy will mark our century. He will make history. It's already written. You just don't know about him. 94 million followers on YouTube, 1.8 on Twitch. Again, Twitch is very specific for gamer, and this guy is touching about a lot of things. It started on gaming, but he's talking about a lot of things. The second one will be Ruben Douglas, who is also with 34 million followers on YouTube. I can just think about that. Think about those numbers. These people talk every day, and these people look at this video live or later on. That's when you see those people on there looking at videos in the tram, they probably look at that. But again, you also have different kind. Again, the specialist. One who is very known is Ninja. He's very good at Fortnite, and he became very known through Fortnite. And on YouTube, he got 21, but he's the number one on Twitch with 13 million followers on Twitch. He's live streaming every day. He is also known because he was the first one who played with a celebrity live. They explode the numbers. It was just Drake Drake is a rapper, who suddenly saw this guy and had a fantastic idea, I will play with this guy live. Huge success. Huge success. So again, you see, it's not about you have to be the gamer or you have to be the person. No, it's not true. But you have to be part of this world. You have to communicate with them. I go again. I have the athletes. Again, the athletes, it's also something very specific because it's like Cristiano Ronaldo, fantastic football player, but you will not take him for entertaining and stuff like that. And that's also where you see there is so many different art of things. But they are fantastic people also. They are training a lot, they are working a lot. Don't think these people are just tourists, it's not the case. It's more professional than you have ever saw. And they probably train even more than top athletes. And also something important, you see women coming out slowly. Right now it's still a small proportion in the e-sport gaming, but it will rise. Because again, also the e-sport will change, you will see new games, new things coming out. It will evolve too. So, that's Twitch. I wanted to talk about this channel just to show you a little bit what it is, because you probably never heard about it. And it's really exploding on video gaming. So Twitch, it's in 2017, 355 billion minutes watched. It's 2+ million unique monthly broadcasters, monthly, 27,000 partner streamers, 124 million total clip generated, because now it's much more. 15 million unique daily visitors, 15 million daily visitors. $30 million raised for charity, because these people are not stupid and they know how to do things. 150,000 affiliates and 223% more creators earning money in 2017. So it's just showing you that these people doing that, if you think they are losing their time, no, they are making money actually. I will just check with the lessons learned, yes. So the rise of influencer was possible through the Internet 2.0, because again, it's very easy to put content now online. And the first important website for gamers was YouTube, of course, because they could suddenly show video, people love video. And now Twitch is considered the #1 channel for gaming, and still growing. Influencers are now very important, never underestimate these people. Again, there I'm just talking about gaming, but there are people about so many topics, cooking, art. Go look for these people, because they have a huge audience that is mostly the audience you are looking at. What I wanted to say, some of these influencers are even bigger than any media. I think it's the New York Post trying to make trouble to Purity, they regretted after all.
What did they try to do?
Because they saw one of its video where they were saying he was racist, and actually it was just a moment where he makes something, but it was part of his joke. And they really rushed at him. He had a contract with Disney and everything, he lost everything. But he don't care, because he still has his 94 million people following him, and he's making it also explain himself. But that's also a point that came out very strong. And again, it's not just us struggling about that. The confrontation, media, traditional one, with these people. For instance, it's not going well. And honestly, sometimes I must even say, media reduce the importance of these people. Because they know we are losing from these people.
Oh, they view them as a threat?
They view them as a huge threat. And they're probably right, but for me it's not a threat, it's an evolution. You must play with. Don't see them as a threat, see them as the next step. It's not a revolution, it's an evolution.
Well, because I
Because
think
of the advertisement, those people take more advertisement than New York Post. Purely talking about your product, it's the product is sold.
Yeah, but they've always
I
had.
think not just the ads, but they're taking eyeballs away in terms
And
of
the
time.
reach, my God, the reach. 94 million people reach? One person? Did you ever saw that?
Yeah, but okay, I wouldn't agree that they're a threat. I wouldn't
There are
say that.
a lot of people look at them as threat. It doesn't mean they are. I agree with you. I don't think they are.
No, they're not.
I
a
think
threat.
it's just the next evolution. You have to take part of it and look at it. Again, it doesn't mean you have to do it yourself. But you have to know that the people you want to sell insurance to are doing it.
But this is all about what you're saying, is changing your perspective.
Exactly. Thank you. So for once I'm right. But let's stop at this point the question I asked you for the first one. So, extraterrestrial are here. Who is this most known, important person? You all know her because it's a her.
Oh, no.
She has a big family.
Julie.
No, the mother of this family is very strong. She got a lot of sister and a brother.
The Kardashians.
Kardashian, that's Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is the most known person in the world. So yes, the extraterrestrial will probably kill
Sorry,
us
I
all.
have to ask a
That's
very
for
stupid
sure.
they
question.
decide to destroy Earth.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. And probably they will be right.
Sorry, I have to ask a really stupid question. Who
Who is Kim Kardashian?
Kim Kardashian.
You don't know
Kim Kardashian.
Married
No?
to Kanye
Annette.
West.
Oh.
Oh my
That's
God,
that's the woman of
first person
That's
I
probably
know.
that's possibly the next
amazing.
president of the United States.
Annette.
Show her a photo, she will know.
She's been to the White House and the Oval Office 3 times to get people released from jail.
Yes.
They are like highly.
She's famous because she's
made
famous. There's no
big
other reason.
bombs,
Exactly.
famous.
The only reason
But
they
again,
get
you know,
bombed
it's a huge marketing plan
Oh my
based on the
God.
mother.
You wouldn't like
We're very
to know
clever.
why she's
Trashy,
famous.
and I'll
It's
tell you all
like, it's
about
like the
it.
next level of
You
the
wouldn't
Paris
like to
Hilton
know
of
why
back
she's
when,
famous.
right?
Exactly. It's all
Kim
started with
Kardashian.
Paris Hilton, I'm sure.
It's the mother who decided to
Paris
do
Hilton
it.
is
No,
turn
it's
TV
already-
on, that's just about all you could see.
What it all started.
It's, and which one is the one that it became a man and a woman? I don't know.
That's the father.
Bruce Jenner.
Huh?
Bruce Jenner is the
That's
one
Bruce
who had
Jenner.
the trend.
That's her father.
That's
That's
her
her father.
That's the stepfather.
Sorry guys, I see her now.
No, it's great.
That is a classic.
But do you know something? Do you know the father of Kim Kardashian? Do you know who he was? He was the
Yeah,
lawyer
that's
of
good.
O.J. Simpson.
Yes. That's how they
Small world.
Kardashian.
The father was the lawyer of O.J.
And he
Simpson.
got brain
Of
cancer,
who?
they say, from being on a cell phone for so long. That's why he
Of
died.
Kim Kardashian.
And
So,
her husband is pretty famous too,
yeah,
the rapper.
Kanye West,
Kanye
the
West.
next president of the United
Yeah, of
States.
course.
Now,
Yeah.
fine.
They're
So,
making America great again.
yeah.
Global mediocrity.
So I'm coming to an end. I give you just two small examples just to show you that everything is possible and it's already here. And it doesn't mean because we are in insurance we cannot do anything about that. First example is about pure advertisement, using a moment and making the best of it. It's the Post in France who this month of April started it like that. They declared that now you can have a skin on Fortnite of the Post, and there is even a car of the Post that you can find, and you can also find a map, and if you find the map you will have a treasure. Of course, explosion on the day, everyone like, my God, my God, my God. So at the end of the day, they put this image back.
It was April's Fool, huh?
It was an April Fool.
So for all those who does not speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's find a letterbox, the post, and then you can find out the treasure map. Go out of your where you are hiding and find out the buggy from the post that you can drive. And of course, you could also, if you have the skin of the post, you could also follow your package via the game. But it was a joke. And that came out with it. Oh yes, we forgot. We didn't show you the back of the skin, and that's an actual joke. That's a fish.
Yeah, because in French you say poisson d'avril.
Poisson d'avril.
Voilà.
It's an April's Fool's joke. There's a cultural element to it.
Probably the most successful campaign ever, based on almost nothing, because of course they didn't do it. They didn't do it, but they make a web page explaining how they did it. They even have a discussion, an interview of a guy of Epic, there are the guys making fun, explaining how complicated it was to make this game. Why? And that's probably the problem we all know, and we all know, it's not easy to connect two systems together. So do you really, me, that's this moment, that's the moment I know it was a joke. Because can you believe that you can connect a game with the CRM system of the host?
And we can't connect our website with the CRM.
So that's just one example, a huge success. The post was saying we never had
Except
such a
on
day,
the
they had a lot of
conference.
articles talking about them. Huge success, and they were saying not based on so many things actually. And fantastic to connect with some public. The idea was to promote new jobs for young people.
Fantastic.
So the next example is a video, because
You
I
just
think
don't
I talked too
understand what a
much.
skin is to start with.
And
No, I do.
uh,
People don't know.
after that I will just show you two examples, and then I will leave you out. So that's, you all know,
I
we
think
were
we're
last
good.
week, oh no, it's making me that again.
Those who
I'm
spent
sorry.
3 hours looking for them.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
But then they obviously had nothing better to do.
Are you playing Fortnite at home?
You don't know what it is.
No.
Oh, she's
My
So, guys, you remember we were all at this virtual reality. Virtual reality is already somewhere else. You don't need to know, is it a game? But watch this video of Virgin about what they did with virtual reality.
Richard Branson
Your
is such
holiday
a
is the
visionary.
highlight of your year, a chance to get away from it all and relax. So why does booking one need to be so laborious and stressful? During Virgin Holidays winter sale, stores face the nightmare scenario of losing people at the final hurdle, with queues causing would-be customers to give up and walk away. We couldn't change the fact that people would sometimes face a wait to be served by store staff, but we could find a solution that turned this into a queue you wanted to be in. Our activation drove Virgin Holidays' most successful sale ever and signified the transformation of the travel industry. Booking a holiday is increasingly a visual decision-making process. To keep people in store, we needed something they couldn't access anywhere else. Something that brought the sensory feeling of a holiday to the queue. Using the latest 360-degree filming techniques and mobile technology, we created an immersive virtual reality experience that transported customers to Riviera Maya in Mexico, a key destination in the winter sale. We launched in 50 Virgin Holiday stores, making this the biggest rollout of virtual reality in the UK ever. Customers could find themselves on an idyllic beach in Tulum, swimming with dolphins, or looking around a beautiful hotel featured in the sale. Staff were trained on how to use the headsets and turn interest into sales. This was no PR gimmick, but a powerful new tool for staff. The promotion achieved phenomenal results. Stores that featured this experience saw year-on-year sales increase 60% more than those without. Even more impressively, sales of Riviera Maya increased 84% year-on-year. This means each headset delivered an ROI of 46 to 1. Not only had we transformed Virgin Holidays' in-store experience, we've begun to transform an industry.
So now you're probably saying, yes, Zeb, it was very interesting. Thank you for your presentation. I know. You're welcome, guys.
Thank you,
But
Sebastian.
Can we do it? No, not done. What can Zurich do about it? It's impossible to do it. And there I have to thank Matteo first and then myself, but I will do it at the end of the presentation again, no worries. Because, to be honest with you,
The last person you want on there.
you're already in the game. That's the car of Matteo when he's playing his driving stuff. It's the color of Zurich, exactly the same color. It's the logo on Zurich on the car.
You do
If
that?
he's playing a multiplayer online with other people, people see that. That's his car. And of course,
So you did it?
he also, you can, to show you how easy
Well
it is, he played
Should've
the
had
car
to do the
because
car
the software will
certificate.
let you put your car anywhere else, like in the middle of Zurich, for example.
Super cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
It looks really
You have to
good.
put that on Workplace.
Yes,
Put it on group marketing Workplace.
yes, put it.
Yes, exactly, it's brilliant.
And then
last
put
but not least,
the
Your
link
photo.
to the skin.
last but
Exactly.
not least, and it is the end of this presentation, every one of you heard about Fortnite. Well, congratulations, guys, we have a skin in Fortnite that people can buy. I'm joking, we don't have it, I just need the picture. I'm sorry about that.
With
That's a
the, with
good
the
idea.
woolly hat.
I do want to say we did have a game, we had Car Hunt, which Annette was the winner of the car. So Annette played the game, so we have had it. However, the experience in the company is not very embracing or enthusiastic, I should say, based on the results of that game.
Well, I
And
think
at
there
2
were
o'clock today,
reasons.
I'm having another meeting with HR on another HR game that was played, for feedback on that, because I was part of that pilot.
Yes,
So-
that was an augmented reality game, not a virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the learnings that we had was you really need to have the buy-in of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And Switzerland was the pilot country. So
And I think the creativity is very important, the agency you work with, the creativity.
Exactly.
What are the prizes, you know, like, the game was set up that you just covered the car with a hat. Well, whoop-de-doo, you know, you find a car, you know, it was very elementary.
but this was
When
2
if I
years
can-
ago, so it was really beginning.
Oh, it's just-
Well, anyway, it was a great game.
That's the end of the presentation, I'm very thankful you did.